Hi, this video is on reading a multimeter. So why are they called multimeters? Well, they measure multiple things. This device can measure voltage, current, or resistance. The first thing you need to make sure you do is that you've got your leads in the right holes. So the black lead goes into this hole labeled common or COM, and the red lead into the center hole. So why do we need different ranges on the multimeter? Well, current, voltage, resistance can take many values across a very large range. And so if we look at the scale here which measures current, we can dial the multimeter to, for example here, where we will be measuring currents from 0 to 200 milliamps, which is a larger current than if we put it here, where we will be measuring currents that go from 0 to 200 microamps. Now, a microamp is a millionth of an amp, and a milliamp is a thousandth of an amp. So, smaller currents to larger currents. To measure voltage, we dial the multimeter around to here. So the smaller voltages, we would dial it to here, where it will measure from 0 to 200 milliamps, and larger voltages here. In electronic communications, we'll be mostly measuring voltages which are 0 to 20, because we'll be using a 6-volt battery pack most of the time. And finally, resistance. We can measure resistances from 200 ohms up to 2000 kilo ohms. So that's 2000,000 ohms, or 2 million ohms. So what's this reading? The multimeter is dialed to 20 volts. So that means we're reading a voltage somewhere between 0 and 20 volts, which is 4.00 volts. What's this reading? Well, the multimeter is dialed to amperes. The scale range is 200 microamperes. So this is reading 3.52 microamperes. This is also reading a current, because we're here in the current reading range of the multimeter. It's reading the scale range 0 to 200 milliamps. So that means we're reading 153 milliamps. And finally, we're measuring here a voltage, because we're in this area. The scale range is 0 to 20 volts, so our reading is 2.7 volts. In some following videos, we'll be showing you how to actually use the multimeter to measure current and voltage in an actual circuit.